guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle. Today is the 28th of June, 2019. I cannot tell you how excited I am about tonight's show. You are not going to want to miss what we have coming up.
Here's the thing. I have a good feeling. Michelle and I couldn't sleep last night, and we realized, and we're going to get into some spiritual things, like a little Kim Clement type prophecy thing.
We are breaking it down.
Because
we're bringing it.
God has been speaking to us 2020.
2020, baby.
Since like about 2014.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys heard about like the 4 blood moons and the prophecies and stuff like that went along with that. And everybody's like, well, I didn't see anything happen. And in 2016, Michelle and I and our family kept feeling that something was going to happen in October. Mm-hmm. And I look back now, and prophecies are best in retrospect, because that's how you know that they're fulfilled. Right. And I saw Kim Clement prophesying and stuff like that. What happened was the quantum shift. And Donald Trump being elected was not about Donald Trump. It was about the quantum shift, because he was an outsider. He didn't have the keys. He was given the keys to unlock the secrets that only secret people in the secret society are supposed to have the keys to.
It sounds so secretive.
That's what they were so afraid of with Donald
Right.
Trump being elected, because then he could investigate everybody. You go back to the Clintons, Bill Clinton. He
Right.
could go back. He could open up all the MLK stuff. Now we know the FBI sent
Right.
him information and said, kill yourself. You know what I mean? And to Martin Luther King. So Donald Trump is about being open. He is about not, and that's why they had to create the insurance policy, which was the Russian narrative.
Right. Oh my gosh, that's another thing. Speaking about these debates that was hammered over and over again. They were asked,
Yang.
what is the biggest geopolitical threat?
Russia.
And
That's
so many of them said Russia, because they're trying to undermine our elections. And I'm thinking to myself, Google.
I really feel like
Google.
these Democratic debates.
Democrat
debates.
I keep wanting to say that too.
Were like a kind of a symbol of like a quantum shift. We're coming across the season, the 4th of July, Independence Day, that we're going to celebrate. And I think from here until the election of next year, through the end of 2020 next year, we talk about the 400-year anniversary of the Pilgrims landing here. And they had a 500-year plan to create a Christian, freedom, liberty-based government that was a vision that God gave them. And, we're going to visit Plymouth right around this time next year. We're going to celebrate
Literally today.
4th of July, yeah.
Next year.
And so if you guys want to be part of that, you look into that. I can send you links and stuff like that. I want you to do it. It's part of your own family.
Right.
It's not necessarily a Resistance Chicks thing. I want each family to be celebrating and say, what can I do? What could we do?
Right.
And to retrospect, look inside and how we're all part of a change and a quantum shift.
So to kick that off, everybody can check out Kirk Cameron's monumental documentary. Mm-hmm. I think you can pay for it on several different platforms, or you can purchase it.
And we should be putting the link to I think it's kind of hard to find for people to research it, mm-hmm. to find it. So we should put it in the link for that brochure for 2020. Actually,
the Plymouth Rock Foundation.
Yeah, Plymouth Rock Foundation. All right, so back to Tucker.
Even what's real. They live in a kind of dream state, a place of fantasy punctuated by howls of self-righteousness. Watch as Julian Castro, and keep in mind, he was an actual...
by the way, there was a lot of Spanish speaking at this American debate. It was absolutely hilarious. The pandering was off the charts.
Cabinet secretary in the Obama administration, that was only a couple of years ago. Watch as Julian Castro explains that men who get pregnant have a moral right to taxpayer-funded abortions. Not joking. Watch this.
Hurts my head.
I don't believe only in reproductive freedom. I believe in reproductive justice. And what that means is that just because a woman, or let's also not forget someone in the trans community, a trans female, is poor, doesn't mean they shouldn't have the right to exercise that right to choose.
No, a trans female would be a man who has no cervix, no uterus, no nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he has a right to an abortion. Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, he has a right to an abortion.
So the whole time that Tucker was talking about this, that didn't enter my brain because that would be literal insanity. Mm-hmm. I thought he was talking about a woman who thinks that she's a man.
Trans female is a female, but not who's in their mind, not in their body.
So if they
trans male,
but if they get pregnant in their mind, then they can have a metaphorical abortion paid for by the government.
Yeah, and there was some sort of self-help guru on the platform last night or the night before. That
I'm following.
And so they cheered. Behold, late empire liberalism in full flower. Who exactly is the constituency for Castro's idea? Men dressed as women who get pregnant. That's the constituency. Unfortunately, there are precisely 0 people on planet Earth who fit that description. Not a single person, actually. There never have been any people like that. There never will be any people like that. Why? Because it's impossible. Biological men cannot get pregnant. Pretending otherwise is lunacy. It's the very definition of lunacy. But Julian Castro doesn't care. Taxpayer-funded transgender abortion sounds like something that all good progressives should support. So Castro fervently does. And critically, he knows that nobody in the room will defend science or pause to ask him, what the hell are you talking about? They can't say a word. They're too intimidated. They know HR is watching. So they nod like monkeys, as if everything he's saying is completely sane. Oh, good point, Mr. Secretary. Trans females shouldn't have to pay for their own abortions. That's racist. The whole thing was like a cartoon or an Evelyn Waugh novel.
But it was so great.
It went on like this all night.
Here,
for
was
example,
so
is
wonderful.
Julian Castro agreeing with Elizabeth Warren that it shouldn't be illegal for foreigners to break our laws. Watch.
When somebody comes across the border, not to criminalize desperation, to treat that as a civil violation.
Criminalize desperation. And you thought this was your country just because, like your ancestors, you were born here. Just because you pay half your income to the government to keep the whole thing going, you thought it was your country. Think again, racist. America belongs to the rest of the world. Your job is to shut up and pay for it. Complain and we'll punish you. Yeah. Bill de Blasio often makes that point. Now, de Blasio, the single worst mayor in the 400-year history of New York City, that's impressive. But how did he wind up on a presidential debate stage last night? God knows. Maybe he illegally immigrated there. Doesn't matter. He was there. And once he had the mic, de Blasio promised to seize your money and give it to his supporters, who he explained deserve it much more than you do.
Yes, we're supposed to be for a 70% tax rate on the wealthy. You hear folks say there's not enough money. What I say to them every single time is there's plenty of money in this world. There's plenty of money in this country.
It's
just in the wrong hands.
And Elizabeth Warren's like, yeah!
We've got the power. Soon we'll have all the guns, and we're coming for your stuff. That was the major theme of last night. And in case anyone missed it, the 2 whitest candidates on stage decided to repeat the point in stilted Spanish.
Cada votante necesitamos la representación y cada voz necesitamos escuchar. Este presidente ha atacado, ha demonizado los inmigrantes. Es inaceptable. Voy a cambiar resto.
Who told him that was a good idea?
Got that, gringo? You can add the English language to the long and growing list of things the Democratic Party considers racist. How long before you're banned from speaking it? Think we're joking? Right. Better to learn Espanol if you want to talk to your grandkids. It's a brand new world. Some of the least impressive people in America are making the rules. Hope you're excited for it. At least men will be able to get free abortions. Even when they weren't speaking Spanish, when Democrats argued it was typically an effort to one-up one another on immigration. Who could be most radical? Watch this.
I want to make sure that you're treated with respect.
I'm still talking about everybody else.
But you're looking at just one small part of this. I'm talking about a comprehensive rewrite of our immigration laws.
That's not true.
And if we do that, I don't think it's asking too much for
true.
people to follow our laws.
I'm talking about millions of folks. A lot of folks that are coming are not seeking asylum.
You're wound up.
So that was, it was just so much fun because I think, now, I want to give the powers that be, the globalists in control of all this, more credit than what they're showing. So I would like to think back to the Michelle Obama Oprah thing, right?
I'm disappointed in the globalists.
No, I
am
want to
disappointed
give them
in
this.
the
I want to give them
globalists.
this. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think that this is their tactic to make the race so insane and crazy that the Democrat voters and the socialist voters are going to be pulling their hair out going, oh my gosh, there's no one here. And then in the end, they'll bring somebody, right?
That's
like,
the only plan.
And then that person is like, oh, thank God we got that
They
one.
had to have been given a memo that said, go as crazy as you want.
Yeah. Say whatever you want.
It's
all
like
kept
if conservatives were trying to get like a middle of the ground person, and they got like the craziest anarchist libertarian people out there, you know, and that was like the whole lineup.
I told you I watched that movie the other day where this girl hired this guy to come and meet her parents, who's super duper crazy and he acts like nuts, and then she brings in the real guy that she wants to date afterwards, and they're like, oh, we love you. Oh my gosh, you're so great.
That's got to be it.
That has to be the plan.
But don't you think it could backfire?
I think so.
Because if they put in all their eggs in one basket, that one person may not, you know, might not even want to do it, or something might not have something crazy.
Okay, so before you get to that, let's do quickly, you could just go over some of the ones that you really want to talk about.
No, I was just going to give you some facts from last night. They kept talking about...
No, I want to do this first.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to pull these up so you and I can actually see them because they're really small there. Okay, so tell them about Cory Booker.
Cory Booker is Spartacus. He's a senator.
Spartacus.
He is I think he's half black, so he's half white, and he's the token black man running, because there actually aren't any black people running.
Okay, so but all of his views tend to lean with the Socialist Party.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you giving him as far as chances to be
0?
Okay, no, I mean to be groomed as the number 1.
0.
Okay, Kamala Harris.
She's actually not black either. She's half Jamaican, half Indian. And she went
she's
to
playing the
school
black card
in like Canada. And she grew up in Jamaica. I don't know.
Did you want to tell him the buses thing?
But somehow there was some bus that somehow she wasn't bused, and somehow somebody said something mean. She wasn't allowed to play with her because she was black, but she's only like part black. She's not African American. She's part Jamaican, part Indian, like from India.
So she has some of the most socialist.
She wants to take
views.
your guns.
She's also connected to Jussie Smollett.
Yeah. And she today came out when everybody was raising their hands on whether you would give free Medicare to illegal immigrants. She's like, well, I didn't know that's why I was raising my hand.
So she backpedaled it a little bit. Okay, Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi's amazing. She's the only one really who deserves to sit on that stage.
And drop dead gorgeous.
John Kerry isn't running. He was not. Neither was Eric Holder.
Okay, well, these might have been dropouts. This is what I grabbed from CNN from some point, just to have the names with the pictures. But Tulsi Gabbard served in the military.
Out too.
Tulsi served in the military.
Brown
I'm
dropped
talking about Tulsi.
She's amazing. She served in the military. She should actually be picked by Trump to replace John Bolton.
Are we going to play her clip where she shut down? Yeah. All right, so we'll get to that. And then Julian Castro.
Don't know much about him. I know he worked. I think he's a senator. He's so far left. It's unbelievable.
Well, he's like a socialist.
Yeah.
Okay, so John Delaney. We didn't know anything about him before the debates.
I'd heard a little bit about him. He's like the anti-socialist. He's like a real Democrat who is trying to like play like police with everybody, but it's not working.
Okay, so Andrew Yang, I'm really excited to talk about him.
He's a billionaire who is just fun. He's a funny person. He's a nice guy, but he wants to try to give everybody $1,000 a month.
$1,000.
It's not going to work.
Over 18.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
But he has this, he really laid it out in a way that he believed would totally work with trickle down. If you give him $1,000, it goes back into the economy, and this is how you pay for it, and yada, yada, yada. So Marianne Williamson, who is absolutely a hoot and hilarious.
She's funny.
She's like,
she's a spiritual guru.
Spiritual guru. And everything, her summation of last night was, I'm going to beat Donald Trump through love.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay. Yeah. Christine Gillibrand.
She tweeted out, "You're the light bulb, God's electricity, let him flow."
Okay. So she's trying to appeal to the Christian voter there.
She's a spiritualist.
Okay. So Christine Gillibrand cannot stand her. She
She's
spent the entire time
flipping flop,
talking over everyone.
Her favorite thing that she said, she's 52 years old. She's like, I come to this table as a young mom.
Oh my gosh. Well, her big claim to fame, which she kept saying over and over and over again, is that when she is elected president, she's going to get rid of like gerrymandering and all she's going to literally get rid of all corruption in Washington. All of it. And she kept hitting that over and over again. Your favorite Pocahontas and mine.
We don't
need to talk about Elizabeth Warren.
Pete Buttigieg is a gay guy. He's really young, from Indiana. He's a mayor, and his town was embroiled in a shooting recently where a white cop shot a black guy. So
he also was the one that said, when I'm not changing diapers, I'm changing Washington, because he has a 2-year-old and an infant, from what I understand.
We all know about Beto. He's a has-been. He was on the cover of Vanity Fair when he was running against Ted Cruz, but now he's a nobody.
Yeah, and we all know about Bernie.
Eric Swalwell's a nobody, but he literally says on day one he will take all of your guns, pretty much all of your guns. I don't know much about anybody else on there. Amy Klobuchar was just like the nice
She's kind of some sort of, middle of the road. And actually, she's more sound-minded than the rest, even though her policies aren't. But like, she sounds
on anti-Kavanaugh during the hearing. Right. She was on that committee. Okay, that's pretty much everybody.
All right, so I just kind of wanted to. I'm glad they didn't go with John Kerry again, because that would have just been a bore. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Now you have a better understanding of the.
He probably would have won. So
Democrat
I don't know why
field.
he won the nomination. Like, I don't know why they didn't pick any normal people. I'm just really at a loss for words. I don't understand. So everybody kept saying that Donald Trump, blah, 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 AOC came out, concentration camps, but during Joe Biden's first 2 years as vice president, 785 migrants died attempting to cross the border legally, and 204 more than during Donald Trump's first 2 years. So why he is not being called out for killing immigrants, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and the same thing with the cages, which actually they're not cages. Everybody keeps talking about cages. They're not in cages. And Trump has actually done more than Obama and Biden did to reconcile families and to not tear them apart.
But neither of them, you guys, if you come over here illegally, whether you're with a family or not, you shouldn't be able to stay on this side of the border.
Right.
You got to go find a place to stay on the other side while your asylum is.
You got to go home, but you can't stay here.
Okay, Kamala Harris tries to justify a mother paying a human trafficker to bring her child to the United States.
A mother who pays a coyote to transport her child through their country of origin, through the entire country of Mexico, facing unknown peril, to come here. Why would that mother do that? I will tell you. Because she has decided for that child to remain where they are is worse. But what does Donald Trump do? He says, go back to where you came from. That is not reflective of our America and our values, and it's got to end.
Whoa, you might as well just say, I am for pedophilia. And she had to say it in like some sort of Spanish accent. Coyote. Coyote. It's called human trafficking.
You do know what happens to almost every single little girl. I don't know why you used a little girl as your example. Every single little girl that comes over gets raped multiple times.
A coyote.
Even the ones that are with their families, their real families. I don't know. Because coming here is better than that experience. Coming here is worth that experience. It's not, actually. You just prostituted your daughter out.
So this was funny. Carpe Duncan put this together. Bernie Sanders got a little crazy with the podium.
The scientists tell us we have 12 years before there is irreparable damage to this planet. This is...
I'll make him small.
A global issue. What the President of the United States should do is not deny the reality of climate change, but tell the rest of the world that instead of spending $1.5 billion on weapons of destruction, let us get together for the common enemy, and that is to transform the world's energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. The future of the planet rests on us doing this.
So before we go, hang on.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
It was so entertaining. It was really, really great to see these people act in such an immature manner, to talk over each other, to not abide by the moderators, can you please give a 1 or 2 word answer, and then you give an entire 5 sentences at least?
So this was cool. Tons of support for Donald Trump at the Dem debate in Miami. A lot of signs were anti-socialist and Democrats for Trump. Hashtag walk away. Don't make America socialist. Socialism, stinks. I'm pro-Trump, pro-free trade. Dangerous socialism ahead. Venezuela. So I thought that was cool.
Thank you, and God bless you. All right, you guys, we're signing off. We'll be back here on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our European and UK news.
I got the show lining up already. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. All right, you guys, good night. God bless.
I was cold all alone. Your place